Maverick 100.9. It's Corliss, and I'm with Jenni Dale Lord, and the only way to intro her is with a kazoo.
I know, I loved it. I wanted to be doot, 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 doot. I wish I'd brought a kazoo too. So
but
nice
you sent me a ton of them.
them.
And now all of a sudden my husband hates me and I don't know why.
Well, I love to give them to little kids like my niece and random strangers, so their parents will hate me too. It's just I'm spreading the hate. I usually like to spread the love, but when the kazoos, it's all off, So
well, I will definitely have my kazoo out for you this weekend. We're going to chat about Jenni Dale Lord coming to town. We're ready for that. But first, girl, new music. You have hit us with the Love You Like You're Leaving, which sounds right up the Jenni Dale Lord alley,
Well, and I think it is, and I'll be honest with you, it's like the first song I've ever released that I didn't write. I actually had a guy out of Nashville that sounds so much like me, right? And so his name's Corey Lee Barker, and he wrote it with a couple other writers, Ava Page, and he sent me this song, and I fell in love with it. And I was like, it definitely sounds like me. It sounds like something I would have written. In fact, it's one of those songs that, dang, I wish I did write it. And I fell in love with it immediately. And honestly, I did not need another ballad for the album, but it just ended up, I loved it so much I couldn't turn it down. So when it came time to release a single, I talked to my promoter, Dylan Steen, and said, what do you think about that? And he's like, I love it. Let's do it. And so it's done really well. It's been out like 4 weeks now, and it's done pretty good. So I'm pretty happy about it.
Oh my gosh. But I always love your ballads. There is something about you that can just pour out a heartbreak. It's like you're pouring it right into a glass in front of someone.
Well, and I appreciate that because honestly, ballads are my favorite. I would have 15 albums if I could have albums of all ballads. It's always like the upbeat, happy songs that I seem to have a hard time with. But the cool thing about Love You Like You're Leaving is it's actually not a sad song. It's about a woman realizing that maybe things haven't been as good as they need to be. And before they get to that point of losing them and realizing what you lost, you're like, why do I need to wait until you leave to love you the way that you should be loved? So I'm going to love you now instead of waiting till you're gone. So I'm going to love you like you're leaving while I still have you.
Isn't that such a great message, though? Couldn't we all take a lesson from that?
Lord knows I can take too many lessons from that. I'm always the girl that's like, I'm done. And then you're like, what did you do? So, yeah.
No, I have totally signed on the dotted line of the big D word. You know what I mean? But it wasn't there. Not until I used the D word did he show any remorse whatsoever. So,
and isn't that crazy? Isn't that tragic?
It is. It can. Well, not really if you've met my current husband.
Well, I love your current husband. I've met him several times.
I know you do.
But
I know you love. I think everybody would agree with that statement.
Oh, yes, girl, we sure would. I'll never forget those photo booth pictures we took at Sometimes a Girl Needs a Blues album, and I was like, woo, look at this. I loved it. He's a hottie. You got you a good one.
Oh, he's
but no, it's tragic that it takes the end for us to realize what we had all along. And that's something that I'm trying to work on as a person, to appreciate what you have while you have it and not wait till it's gone before you recognize it. And I think that encompasses everything, so.
It really can. So we're going to let everybody have it for the first time on Maverick 100.9. My friend Jenni Dale Lord and Love You Like You're Leaving. Due to copyright, Brian Broadcasting is not licensed to air this single for you in podcast form, but you can now find it anywhere that you stream and download music. And today's interview continues now. Maverick 100.9, Aggie Land's country alternative. You just heard it here first. Love Me Like You're Leaving. That was Jenni Dale Lord. And if you want to hear it live, girl, you're coming to town Saturday night.
I sure will be there. I've been trying to get to College Station for a long time. But, as a poor musician, the hardest part is not getting the show or even getting there. It's getting to do that while still making some money, right? So you're like, I can't afford to pay for a hotel room. So luckily our friend Julia Hatfield is so cute. She's like, y'all come stay with me. And I'm like, oh, thank you. So I can finally bring the boys to College Station, which is really exciting.
I am stoked about it. So, of course, I'll be there. And just FYI, I always have a guest room for you, girl.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, I may need to split it up then so she doesn't have to take the whole band. We'll send half of them with you and half of them with her.
We got you. We've got you 100%.
Well, thank 100%.
You. No, I'm stoked. So you guys make sure you follow Jenni Dale Lord on all of her socials, her website, everything like that. That's where you're going to get info for that show, not to mention all the new music because you're constantly working. Did you put out another album since the last time I talked to you?
Yeah, so that's what this Love You Like You're Leaving comes from. I try to put out an album every 2 years. So 2020, we had Sometimes a Girl Needs the Blues, which is the last one we really got to talk about. And then this year, or in 2022, we put out In the Dance. And we had a big album release party at the same place where you came to, and even more people, and a really awesome chef that competed on Next Level Chef with Gordon Ramsay. So the food was like top notch. We had a photo booth again, all that kind of fun stuff. And so this is actually our second single off that album. The first one was Better Things. And then this one is Love You Like You're Leaving. And so hopefully we have some time to release some songs from this album, because honestly, girl, I'm in a dry spell right now.
You're not the only one.
I've written one song since I put out that album. So at this point, the next record's going to be like a Christmas album or something.
You said my favorite
I know. Well, you got to do the Country Christmas. I know you guys played that. It was our first Christmas song we put out this past Christmas.
Love with it. So a full Christmas album is fine by me, girl.
Well, good, because that's where I'm headed at this point.
Oh man, so we were chatting personally because Jenni and I are friends. We love to catch up any chance that we get.
Yes.
And we're on Zoom, and you caught a little glimpse at my weird little shelf behind me. Have you been converted into a Chiefs fan?
I love it. Yes. And I was wondering, you're like the station for Aggie Land. And I was like, and yet she's got a Red Raider right behind her.
No, I do not, girl. I was born and raised in Kansas. I'm a lifelong Chiefs fan, not a bandwagon Chiefs fan.
Yeah, so I am a Kansas City fan by way of Patrick Mahomes, being a Lubbock girl and a Red Raider. I got to support my Red Raiders wherever they go. So no matter who's come out of it, whether it was Michael Crabtree when he was with the 49ers, whether it was Graham Harrell, now we have Patrick Mahomes, and, of course we've had some Dallas Cowboys. So I'm always supporting the Red Raiders. And so, yes, when I saw your cereal box back there, I was like, I love it so much.
It is really funny because I support the weird. Well, it's not weird for me to be a Chiefs fan, obviously. Like I said, born and raised in Kansas. That's just how you're raised. Now, baseball wise, I'm an Atlanta Braves fan, which doesn't make sense to anybody. But if you remember correctly, it was 2 years ago that the Braves and the Astros played in the World Series together. I got to live my lifelong dream of going to an actual World Series game and seeing the Braves in the World Series. And of course, I was hated in my office because it was full of Astros fans. And so like I go through like literal verbal abuse through that whole period. But I'm a Chiefs fan, and all the Texans are like, oh, I love this and I love that. And I'm like, y'all were just mean to me. Shut up.
Yeah, that's funny. But how amazing was that? Was it like the coolest thing ever to be at the World Series?
It was everything I've ever dreamed of. I wore my number 25 Andrew Jones shirt that my mom gave me for Christmas when I was 16. I wore my embroidered, like with my name embroidered on it, specially made Atlanta Braves hat.
That's amazing.
It was game 1 of the World Series. They won that night. It was probably close to one of the best nights I've ever had in my life. And I am still paying off the credit card from 2 years ago.
Oh, I bet you are. But what a cool experience. And speaking of your mom, I saw you just got to hang out with your mom for a while.
I did. Now, hopefully you'll be joining us at the Texas Regional Radio.
Of course I will be there. We've been doing that thing for like 3 years now, girl. I wouldn't miss it.
It's tradition now. Like
it's tradition. That's right.
Absolute tradition. So mom will be there, and she is actually my date this year.
I love it.
Ditching the husband, he'll be back with his parents, and mom is going down the red carpet with me.
And I love it. You're a mama's girl like me. I remember, I think it was not last year, but the year before, I took my mom as my date as well, and we did like the photographs together. And I took her down the red carpet. And I introduced her to all the radio stations. So I was like, "You guys, this is my mom." Yeah. So
I remember meeting your mom. That was the 2021 award show, right? Was that
the one that I played? It was the one that I got to play when I played the bottle. So it was in the what do you call it? The event center rather than the Texas Live. Yeah.
I do remember your mama. We need to get our moms together, dude.
I think so too. That'd be fun. And they raised a couple crazy daughters like us, so that they'd probably get along really well.
Yeah, definitely. Either that or they'd sit there and roll their eyes at us. Boy, I'm used to the eye roll.
Probably me too. I'll just tune it out by now.
Well, y'all, that's my friend Jenni Dale Lord. Please go see her this Saturday night. Go follow her for all that info. Get not just the new single, but the brand new album from Jenni Dale Lord. We always appreciate you coming and laying all the new music on us here on Maverick.
I appreciate you having me, and I'm really looking forward to hanging out with you on Saturday night. As you know, we're spending the night, so all bets are off. It's party time in College Station on Saturday night. So
we're getting in trouble.
Yeah, we are.